I walked into my home, and the air felt different. Silent. Not peaceful silent. Empty silent. The kind of silence that screams at you. I found my wife's wedding ring on the bed. Next to it, a note. 2 lines. I opened my banking app. Business account, $0.00. Operating account, $0.00. Reserve fund, $0.00. $3 million. Gone. But that wasn't the moment I broke. I broke when I saw the security footage from 2 a.m. There they were, my best friend and my wife, kissing in my office, his hands in her hair, her laughing against his mouth. And then she looked directly at the camera, smiled, and whispered something I had to replay 17 times to understand. He'll never see it coming. They hadn't just left. They had spent 547 days meticulously erasing me from my own life while making me believe I was loved. I thought I was building a legacy, but I was actually funding my own execution. And the scariest part? I'm the one who signed the papers that let them do it. Because I loved them, and they knew it. Before I tell you how they destroyed me, I need you to understand something. It wasn't always fake. There was a time when we were real, when the love was real, when the friendship was real. That's what made the betrayal so perfect, because the best lies are built on truth. Let me take you back to 2007. I was 28 years old, Marcus Webb, corporate marketing drone in a gray cubicle making someone else rich while my soul slowly died. I'd wake up every morning, look in the mirror and think, is this it? Is this all there is? Then I met Daniel Hoffman, networking event in Austin, Texas. One of those awful mixers where everyone's scanning the room for someone more important while pretending to care about your elevator pitch. I was about to leave when I heard someone laugh. Really laugh. Not that fake networking laugh. A genuine, from-the-gut laugh. I turned. There he was. Tall, confident, sharp suit, but loosens tie. He was talking to a group, telling some story about a disastrous client pitch involving a projector malfunction and a CEO's toupee. Everyone was captivated. I walked over. When the group dispersed, I introduced myself. Marcus Webb. That was a good story. He grinned. Daniel Hoffman, and it's even better because it's true. We talked for 3 hours, not about business cards or LinkedIn connections, about dreams. About being tired of building someone else's empire, about wanting something that was ours. We talked for 3 hours, not about business cards or LinkedIn connections, about dreams, about being tired of building someone else's empire, about wanting something that was ours. By the end of the night, we'd sketched a business plan on 3 cocktail napkins: digital marketing agency, B2B focus, performance-based pricing. We could actually do this, Daniel said, eyes bright. We could. I agreed. So let's do it. We shook hands. And I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. 2 months later, we launched Webb and Hoffman Marketing Group. Out of my garage. $12,000 between us. Split 50-50. Equal partners, equal risk, equal reward. The first year was brutal. Ramen noodles for dinner, 18-hour days, cold calls that went nowhere. But we had something most partnerships don't: chemistry. I was the visionary, the client whisperer, the guy who could walk into a boardroom and make a CEO believe in magic. Daniel was the operator, the systems guy, the one who made sure the magic actually happened. We weren't just business partners. We were brothers. There was this one night, November 2008. The economy was collapsing. Our biggest client had just canceled their contract. We were sitting in my garage at 2 a.m., surrounded by unpaid invoices. We're fucked, I said. Daniel looked at me. No, we're not. Daniel, we have $17 in the business account. So what? We've had less. When? Last month, we had 14. I laughed despite myself. Daniel stood up. Marcus, listen to me. We're going to make it. You know why? Why? Because quitting isn't in our DNA, and because I'm not doing this with anyone else. It's you and me. Brothers, till the end. He held out his hand. I took it. Brothers, I said. And we meant it. At least, I did. I met Sarah Webb in 2011 at a coffee shop. I just closed our first six-figure deal and was celebrating alone with an overpressed latte. She was sitting by the window reading, not on her phone, an actual book. The Alchemist. I know because I walked past her table 3 times trying to work up the courage to say something. On the 3rd pass, she looked up. Are you lost or just working up to something? I froze. She smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. I'm Marcus, and I'm working up to something. I'm Sarah, and you should probably sit down before you wear a hole in the floor. I sat. We talked for 2 hours. She was a kindergarten teacher. 5-year-olds, finger painting and alphabet songs. Why kindergarten? I asked. Because that's when you can still save them, before the world makes them hard. She said it with such genuine hope that something in my chest ached. You really believe that? She said quietly. I have to. Otherwise, what's the point? I fell in love with her in that moment. Not because she was beautiful, though she was, because she saw good in a world that was beating it out of people. And I wanted to be the kind of man who deserved that softness. Our first date was a disaster. I took her to a fancy restaurant I couldn't afford, wore a suit that didn't fit right, spilled wine on the tablecloth. Sarah laughed through all of it. You don't have to impress me, Marcus, she said. I already like you. You do? Yeah. You're a terrible liar, and you tried too hard. It's endearing. Our second date was perfect. Pizza, cheap wine, my rooftop. We lay on blankets and looked at the stars. Tell me your dream, she said. Build something that matters, something that's mine, leave a mark. That's a good dream. What's yours? She was quiet for a long time. I want to be seen, she said finally. Really seen, not just as someone's teacher or someone's girlfriend, but as me, all of me. I turned to look at her. I see you? She smiled, but something in her eyes looked sad. I hope you still do in 5 years. I married Sarah Webb on June 15, 2013. Small ceremony, close friends and family. Daniel was my best man. He gave a toast that made everyone laugh and cry. To my brother Marcus, who found a woman better than he deserves. Sarah, you're stuck with us now. The Webb and Hoffman family. We're a package deal. He raised his glass to her. Sarah smiled and raised hers back. To family, she said. Everyone drink. No one knew that toast would become a prophecy. Just not the kind we imagined. 2013 to 2016. 2013 to 2016 were the golden years. The business was growing. By 2014, we had 12 employees. By 2015, we were billing $2 million a year. By 2016, $3 million in revenue. Sarah and I bought our first house. 3 bedrooms, backyard, white picket fence. The American dream in physical form. Daniel and his wife Rachel were over every Friday. Dinner, wine, laughter. Our lives were intertwined. Holidays together, vacations to Cabo, birthday parties. When Daniel's daughter Emma was born in 2014, I became her godfather. I held her in the hospital, this tiny, perfect thing, and thought, this is what success looks like. Not money. This. Family, connection, love. Sarah loved the business almost as much as we did. She'd bring lunch to the office, homemade sandwiches, fresh cookies. The employees loved her. She'd sit in on strategy meetings, ask smart questions, offer ideas. You've got good instincts to her, Daniel told her once. Ever think about doing this professionally? Sarah laughed. I'm happy with my finger paints and story time. But I noticed she stayed later at the office after that. Started asking more questions. I thought she was just being supportive. I thought she cared. First crack, the moment it changed. I can pinpoint the exact moment everything changed. December 15th, 2016. Company Christmas party. We'd rented out a small venue. Open bar, DJ. It was a celebration. We'd just closed our biggest year ever. I gave a speech, thanked the team, thanked Daniel. To none of this happens without my partner, my brother, Daniel Hoffman. Everyone applauded. I looked at Sarah. She was smiling, but not at me, at Daniel. I drank too much that night. Whiskey, wine, whatever people handed me. By 11 p.m., I was done. I'm gonna head home. You coming? I'll stay a bit longer, she said. Rachel and I are having fun. You sure? Yeah, I'll catch a ride with them. I kissed her cheek. Don't stay out too late. I won't. She was lying. What I didn't know, Rachel left at midnight. She wasn't feeling well. Daniel drove her home, then came back for Sarah. They sat in Daniel's car in the parking lot for 40 minutes, talking. Sarah was crying. I don't know who I am anymore, she said. I wake up every day and teach the alphabet and go home and make dinner, and Marcus is always working, and I feel invisible. Daniel reached over, put his hand on hers. You're not invisible to me. Sarah looked at him. Daniel, I see you, Sarah. I always have. That's all it took. One moment of feeling seen, one moment of vulnerability, one hand on hers. They kissed, right there, in the parking lot, in his car, while I was home, asleep, dreaming about our future. When Sarah came home at 2 a.m., I woke up. Hey, you okay? Yeah, she whispered. Just tired. Go back to sleep. I pulled it close. She was stiff. You smell like cologne, I mumbled. Daniel gave me a hug goodbye. You know how he is. I did know. Daniel was affectionate, a hugger, a backslabber. So I went back to sleep. Sarah lay there, awake, staring at the ceiling, her lips still tingling, her heart pounding, hating herself, wanting more. The affair started slow, texts first. Sarah, I can't stop thinking about last night. Daniel, me neither. Sarah, we shouldn't do this. Daniel, I know. Sarah, but I want to. Daniel, so do I. Then, coffee meetings, just as friends, they told themselves. Twice a week, then 3 times, then daily. They'd meet at a cafe across town where no one knew them, talk for hours about dreams, regrets, the lives they wished they were living. I thought marrying Marcus would make me happy, and it did, for a while. But now I feel like I'm living someone else's life. Daniel reached across the table, took her hand. Then live yours. The first time they slept together was February 14th, 2017. Valentine's Day. Ironic, isn't it? I'd booked Sarah and me a dinner reservation. Nice restaurant, roses, the whole thing. But I got a call at 4 p.m. Emergency client meeting, potential $1 million deal. I'm so sorry, I told Sarah. I have to take this. I'll make it up to you. It's okay, she said. Her voice was flat. I'll be home by 10, I promise. Sure. I wasn't home by 10. The meeting ran late, then drinks, then more talking. I got home at 1 a.m. Sarah was asleep, or pretending to be. On the nightstand was the Valentine's card I'd left her that morning, unopened. What I didn't know, Sarah had called Daniel at 6 p.m., crying. He chose work again. Where are you? Home, alone. Not anymore. I'm coming over. Daniel brought flowers, wine, takeout from her favorite place. They ate on my couch, drank wine from my glasses, and when Sarah started crying again, Daniel held her. You deserve better than this, he whispered. He's a good man. Good isn't enough. You deserve someone who sees you. Sarah looked up at him. Like you? Yes, like me. They made love in the guest bedroom, while my side of the bed was still warm from the morning, while our wedding photos hung on the walls, while I was across town, shaking hands and signing contracts, thinking I was building our future. Afterward, Sarah lay in Daniel's arms. "We can't do this again," she said. "I know. Marcus would be destroyed. I know. Promise me this was just once." Daniel kissed her forehead. "I promise." They did it again 3 days later. For 18 months, Sarah lived 2 lives. Life 1, Marcus's wife. She cooked dinner, did laundry, smiled when I came home late. We made love on Sundays. Routine, comfortable, safe. She'd lie beside me afterward and I'd tell her about work, about the new clients, the growth, the future. We're gonna retire by 50, travel the world, finally have time for us. "That sounds nice," she'd say. But her mind was somewhere else, with someone else. Life 2, Daniel's lover. They met 3 times a week, hotel rooms mostly, sometimes his office after hours. Once, they were reckless enough to use our house. I was at a conference in Dallas. Daniel came over. They made love in my bed, used my shower, drank my whiskey. But here's the thing that will haunt me forever. It wasn't just sex. They were in love. Real love. I found Sarah's journal after everything collapsed. Entries from March 2017 to June 2019. Let me read you one. March 22nd, 2017. "I'm a terrible person. I know I am. But when I'm with Daniel, I feel alive in a way I haven't in years. He asks me questions, real questions, not how was your day, but what do you dream about when you can't sleep? He listens. He sees me. Marcus is a good man. He works hard. He provides, but he doesn't see me anymore. I'm just part of the infrastructure, the supportive wife, the one who makes sure his life runs smoothly. I've become invisible in my own marriage. Daniel makes me visible again. Is that so wrong?" Another entry, May 2017. May 8th, 2017. "Daniel told me he loves me today. We were lying in bed at the Marriott downtown, and he just said it. 'I love you, Sarah. I'm in love with you.' I started crying because I love him too, and I hate that I do. What kind of person loves 2 men at the same time? What kind of person lies to someone who trusts them completely? But I can't stop. I've tried. God, I've tried. But every time I'm with Marcus, I'm thinking about Daniel, and every time I'm with Daniel, I'm wishing he was my husband instead." Reading those words broke me in a way the money never did, because it meant it was real. She really loved him, which meant she really stopped loving me. Love becomes crime. The theft didn't start as theft. It started as fantasy. It was July 2017. Sarah and Daniel were at a rooftop bar, one of those trendy places with overpriced cocktails and a view of the city. They were on their 5th drink, loose, happy, in love. "What if we just left?" Sarah said suddenly. Daniel looked at her. "What do you mean? Left, ran away, started over somewhere." "Like where?" "I don't know. Costa Rica, Portugal, somewhere warm where no one knows us." Daniel smiled. "That's a nice fantasy." "Why does it have to be a fantasy?" "Because we have lives, jobs, spouses." Sarah was quiet. Then, what if we didn't? That's when the seed was planted. Not as a plan, as a dream, a what if. But Daniel's mind was already working. Daniel Hoffman wasn't just a finance guy. He was a strategist, and he'd been watching me for 10 years. He knew my patterns, my blind spots. He knew I trusted him completely. He knew I never checked the books. 2 weeks later, Daniel came to Sarah with a question. What if we could actually do it? Do what? Leave, start over together. Sarah's heart raced. How? The business. Marcus never checks the accounts. I could move money, slowly, over time. By the time anyone noticed, we'd be gone. Sarah should have said no, should have been horrified, should have told me. Instead, she asked, "How much?" The rationalization, How good people become criminals. Let me tell you how two ordinary people convinced themselves to steal $3 million. It's not one decision, it's 1,000 small ones. Step 1. Dehumanize the victim. Marcus doesn't appreciate you, Daniel would say. He's always working. He doesn't see you. You supported him for years. You've earned this. Sarah nodded. I have earned it. Step 2. Justify the crime. Think about it, Daniel said. You came up with half the business ideas he's used. The rebranding strategy in 2015, that was you. The client retention program, you. He just took credit. That's true. So really, this isn't stealing, it's taking what's yours. Step 3. Minimize the harm. Marcus will be fine, Daniel said. He's smart. He'll rebuild. Guys like him always land on their feet. You think so? I know so. And honestly, this might be good for him. Force him to grow up. Stop taking people for granted. Step 4. Focus on the fantasy. Picture it, Daniel would say. A villa in Costa Rica, overlooking the ocean. We wake up every morning to sunrise. No schedules, no obligations, just us. Sarah would close her eyes. She could see it, feel it, taste it. Step 5. Make it collaborative. I need you, Daniel told her. I can't do this without you. You're the only one who knows Marcus well enough, who has access. Sarah felt important, needed, essential, for the first time in years. Step 6. Take the first small step. January 2018. Daniel created the first shell company, Apex Digital Solutions. It's just a backup plan, he told Sarah. We probably won't even use it. But they both knew that was a lie. Step 7. Cross the line. March 2018. The first transfer, $8,500. Daniel's hand hovered over the approved button. Last chance to back out, he said. Sarah put her hand over his. Do it. He clicked. The money moved. They celebrated that night. Expensive dinner, wine, hotel suite. They made love like they'd just won the lottery. In a way, they had. And here's the coolest part. I signed the documents that made it all possible.
February 2018. Daniel came to me with a proposal. We should consolidate the accounts. Better interest rates, easier tracking. Sure, I said, whatever you think is best. I'll need you to sign some forms, give me authorization to handle transfers. Of course, you're the finance guy. I signed them in my car while sitting in traffic. Didn't even read them. Just scrolled to the signature line and scribbled. Hit send. That night, Daniel showed Sarah the documents. It's done, he said. I have complete control. Sarah's face went pale. What if he finds out? He won't. He trusts me. But what if... Daniel grabbed her hands. Sarah, listen to me. This is happening. We're doing this. And in 18 months, we'll be free. Sarah nodded. But that night, alone in bed next to me, she cried. Silently. While I slept 2 feet away, completely unaware that my wife was mourning me, mourning us, mourning the man she used to love. For 18 months, Daniel and Sarah executed the perfect crime. Not perfect because it was sophisticated, perfect because it was patient. Every 2 weeks, like clockwork, a fake invoice, a shell company, a transfer. March 2018, $8,500 to Apex Digital Solutions, web hosting. March 2018, $12,000 to Horizon Strategic Consulting, market research. April 2018, $9,200 to Cascade Marketing Group, graphic design. April 2018, $15,000 to Summit Analytics LLC, data services. Different amounts, different fake vendors, all carefully designed to stay under my radar. Daniel knew I only reviewed expenses over $20,000, so every transfer was under that threshold. The invoices looked perfect, professional letterhead, detailed line items, payment terms. All fake. All approved by Daniel using his legitimate authority. All legal on paper. By December 2018, they'd moved $127,000, and I had no idea. But the money was just part of it. The real crime was the intimacy. They'd meet in my office, late at night, after everyone left. Security cameras captured it all. January 15th, 2018, 11:47 p.m. Daniel and Sarah in the conference room. She's sitting on the table. He's standing between her legs, his hands on her waist. They're kissing, slowly, deeply, like they have all the time in the world. February 22nd, 2018, 1:03 a.m. Daniel's office. Sarah's wearing the necklace I gave her, our anniversary gift. She's laughing at something he said. He reaches up and touches it. This. Tamarcus gave it to me for our 5th anniversary. You should take it off. Why? Because when you're with me, I want you to be with me, not him. Sarah hesitates, then unclasps it, sets it on his desk. Daniel pulls her close. Better. March 9th, 2018, 10:52 p.m. The conference room again. A laptop open between them. Bank transfer screen visible. Apex Digital Solutions, $8,500. Status: approved. Sarah's smiling. Is it really that easy? It's really that easy. When do we have enough? Daniel does quick math. At this rate, 18 months, maybe 20. That's a long time. It'll go fast. Daniel kisses her forehead, and then we're free. They didn't just steal my money. They stole moments that should have been mine. While I was working late to grow the business, they were making love in my office. While I was traveling for client meetings, they were using my house as their personal hotel. While I was planning our future, they were planning my destruction. The breaking point, when Sarah almost confessed. There was one moment, one single moment where Sarah almost stopped it. April 12th, 2019, 3 months before they vanished. It was our 6th anniversary. I'd planned a whole thing. Took the day off, made reservations at the place we had our first date. Bought her a bracelet, small diamonds, simple, beautiful. We sat on the restaurant patio, sunset, wine, candles. I held her hand across the table. 6 years, I said. Can you believe it? Sarah's eyes filled with tears. Marcus, I know I've been distracted lately. I know the business takes up too much time, but I want you to know you are the reason I do any of it. Everything I build, I'm building for us. A tear ran down her cheek. I don't deserve you. I squeezed her hand. Yes, you do. You deserve everything. I gave her the bracelet. She opened it, started crying harder. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. That night we went home, made love. Real love. Not the routine Sunday thing, but connected, present, there. Afterwards, Sarah lay in my arms. I was almost asleep when she spoke. Marcus. Yeah. If I ever did something terrible, would you forgive me? I opened my eyes. What are you talking about? Just hypothetically, if I hurt you, would you forgive me? I pulled her closer. Sarah, you're my wife. I'd forgive you anything. Why are you even thinking about this? She was quiet for a long time. Then, no reason, just thinking. She almost told me. Right then, she almost confessed everything. But her phone buzzed. She reached for it. A text from Daniel. Still good for tomorrow? We need to move the next phase forward. Sarah stared at it, then at me, then back at the phone. She typed, "Yes, I'm in." She put the phone down, turned off the light, and made her choice. The next morning,
I woke up to breakfast in bed. Pancakes, bacon, fresh orange juice. "What's this?" I asked. Sarah smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Just wanted to do something nice for you." I pulled her onto the bed. "I love you, Sarah Webb." She kissed me. "I love you too." It was the last time she'd say it, and mean it. By July 2019, they'd moved $1.2 million, but they wanted more. They wanted everything. "We need to speed this up," Sarah said. "I can't keep doing this." "Doing what?" "Pretending, lying to him every day. It's killing me." Daniel looked at her carefully. "Do you still love him?" Sarah was quiet. "I don't know. I love who he was, but he's not that person anymore." "Then let's finish this." They planned the final extraction for late July, but they needed me gone, out of town, distracted. Daniel came to me with an idea. "There's a huge marketing conference in Denver. 3 days, big networking opportunity." "I don't know, man. We've got the Hughes pitch coming up." "Which is exactly why you should go. You're burned out, Marcus. You need a break. Take Sarah. Make it a long weekend. I'll handle things here." I hesitated. "What about the pitch?" "I'll present. You've done all the hard work. I'll just show up and smile." Sarah accidentally saw the Denver conference brochure on my desk. "Oh, this looks amazing. We should go." "Really? You hate these things." "I know, but when's the last time we did something just for us? Just you and me?" She put her arms around my neck. "Please, I miss you." I couldn't remember the last time she'd initiated affection. "Okay," I said, "let's do it." She smiled, kissed me, and I never saw the relief in her eyes. The relief that the end was finally coming. July 23rd, 2019, 3 days before we left, Sarah and Daniel met one last time in our office. 2:34 a.m. The security footage shows everything. They're in the conference room, laptop open. Daniel's walking her through the final plan. "Friday night, while you're in Denver, I'll transfer everything, all $3 million. It'll be done in under 10 minutes. And then? Then we wait 48 hours, let the money clear, let the transfers finalize. And Marcus, he won't know until Monday morning. By then, we'll be gone." Sarah's hands are shaking. I'm scared. Of what? Of him finding out, of what it'll do to him. Daniel grabs her hands. "Sarah, look at me. Do you want this life, this future, with me?" "Yes, then we have to finish it. No backing out now." Sarah nods. Then she looks directly at the camera, smiles, and says, "He'll never see it coming." They kiss. One last time in my office, in my building, surrounded by everything I'd built. Then Daniel slides a piece of paper across the table. "What's this?" "Your new passport, your new identity." Sarah picks it up. Elena Reyes, age 38, born in Mexico City. "Who's Elena?" Daniel smiles. "You are, starting Monday." Sarah stares at it, then at Daniel. "Elena Reyes," she says slowly. "I like it." They spend the rest of the night in a hotel, their last night before everything changes. They make love, order room service, talk about Costa Rica, the villa they'll buy, the life they'll live. And in the morning, Sarah goes home. To me, smiles at me over coffee, kisses me goodbye, and helps me pack for Denver. The Denver trip, the last happy moments. Friday, July 26, 2019. Sarah and I left for Denver at 6 a.m. Daniel drove us to the airport. He helped load our luggage, hugged me goodbye. "Have fun, brother. You've earned it. Thanks for holding down the fort. That's what partners do." He turned to Sarah, hugged her, longer than he needed to. I didn't notice. I was checking our boarding passes. But the airport security camera caught it. His mouth next to her ear, whispering, 24 hours, then we're free. Sarah nodding slightly. We boarded the plane. Sarah took the window seat, looked out as we took off, I thought she was nervous about flying. She was saying goodbye. Goodbye to Austin. Goodbye to our life. Goodbye to me. That weekend in Denver was perfect. Actually perfect. We went to the conference during the day, but at night, we were just us. We had dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city, walked through Larimer Square holding hands, went back to the hotel, and made love like we were newlyweds again. Saturday night, we were lying in bed, the city lights coming through the window, Sarah's head on my chest. "This is nice," I said. "We should do this more often." "Yeah," she said quietly. "Just get away, just us. No work, no stress." "Marcus?" "Yeah?" "What about if you could go anywhere in the world, anywhere at all, where would you go?" I thought about it. "I don't know. Maybe Greece? You've always wanted to see Santorini." Sarah was quiet. "What about you?" I asked. "Where would you go?" "Somewhere where no one knows me," she said. "Somewhere I could start over, be anyone I wanted." I laughed. "You want to run away from your life?" She didn't answer. "Sarah?" "No," she said finally. "I'm happy. This is nice." But her phone buzzed. She reached for it. I saw the screen before she could turn it over. A text from Daniel. "Everything's in place. Can't wait to start our new life. I love you." I blinked. What was that? Sarah's face went white. "What?" "That text from Daniel." "Oh, he must have sent that to Rachel and accidentally sent it to me too. Group text thing." I should have questioned it, should have asked to see the phone, should have known that explanation made no sense. But I didn't. Because I trusted her. Because I loved her. Because I couldn't conceive of a world where she'd hurt me. "Are you okay?" I asked. "You look pale." "Yeah, just tired." She turned off the phone, turned towards me, kissed me. "I love you, Marcus." "I love you too." It was the last time she'd say it, and this time she didn't mean it at all. The Heist, Saturday night, 2:14 a.m. While Sarah and I slept in Denver, while I held her close thinking about our future, while I dreamed about growing old together, Daniel Hoffman was in my office, alone, 2:14 a.m. Central Time. He opened his laptop, logged into the business account using the credentials Sarah had given him, my credentials that I'd trusted her with. He pulled up the main operating account, balance $1,847,216.16. He created a transfer to Apex Digital Solutions Holdings LLC, amount $1,847,216.16. Memo, consulting services, final payment. His cursor hovered over approve. For just a moment, Daniel hesitated. This was it, the point of no return. He thought about me, his brother. 12 years of partnership, 12 years of building together. Late nights, shared dreams, that time in 2008 when we had nothing and promised each other we'd make it. He thought about Marcus, young, hopeful Marcus shaking his hand in that garage. Brothers, Marcus had said, till the end.
Daniel closed his eyes, took a breath, and clicked approve. The system processed. Loading. Loading. Transfer complete. New balance? $0. Daniel smiled. Not a big smile, just a small, satisfied smile. The smile of someone who just won. Then he logged into the reserve fund. Balance? $1,153,592.06. Another transfer. To Horizon Strategic Consulting, LLC. Amount
$1,153,592.06. Click. Transfer complete. New balance? $0. Total time, 9 minutes 47 seconds. Total stolen, $3,008,222.22. Daniel sat back in my chair, in my office, surrounded by everything I'd built. He pulled out his phone, texted Sarah, "It's done. We're free." In Denver, at 2:23 a.m. Mountain Time, Sarah felt her phone buzz. I was asleep beside her. She read the message. Her hands shook. Her heart pounded. She looked at me, sleeping peacefully, trusting completely. She typed back, "I'm scared." Daniel replied immediately, "Don't be. This is what we wanted, what we deserve. I love you." Sarah stared at the screen, then at me. She almost woke me up, almost told him everything, almost stopped it. Instead, she turned off the phone, lay back down, and pretended to sleep. The disappearance. Sunday morning, Sarah and I flew back to Austin, landed at 6:15 p.m. Sarah was quiet the whole flight. "You okay?" I kept asking. "Yeah, just tired." "We can order in tonight and just relax." "That sounds good." But when we got home, she said, "Actually, I'm going to take a shower. Long day." "Want company?" I teased. "I just need a few minutes alone, okay?" "Sure, babe." Sarah went upstairs. I thought she was showering. She was packing. Quietly, methodically. Everything that mattered. Clothes, jewelry, passport, documents, everything she needed for her new life as Elena Reyes. She moved fast, 20 minutes. She had 3 bags ready, hidden in the closet behind my old suits. Then she really did shower, washed away the evidence, came downstairs in her robe, hair wet. "Feeling better?" I asked. "Much." We ordered Thai food, watched a movie, sat on the couch like we'd done 1,000 times. I fell asleep during the movie, head on her shoulder. Sarah looked down at me, touched my face, and cried. Quietly, so I wouldn't hear. Tears running down her face onto my hair. Because despite everything, despite the affair, the theft, the lies, a part of her still loved me. But not enough. At 11:47 p.m., her phone buzzed. Text from Daniel. "Car's outside. Time to go." Sarah carefully moved out from under me. I stirred but didn't wake. She covered me with a blanket. Went upstairs one last time. Got the bags. Came back down. She stood in the doorway, looking at me sleeping on the couch. She pulled off her wedding ring, set it on the coffee table, next to a note she'd written hours before. "Dear Marcus, I'm sorry. I never meant it for it to go this far. But I can't leave living a lie. I love him. I always have. You deserve better than someone who can't love you the way you deserve. I hope someday you can forgive me. S." She took one last look, one last moment. Then she walked out, closed the door quietly, got into Daniel's car. "You okay?" Daniel asked. Sarah nodded. "I'm okay." Last chance to change your mind. She looked back at the house. The lights still on inside. Me still asleep inside. "Drive," she said. And they did. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. Monday morning. On the couch. Neck stiff. Back aching. "Sarah?" No answer. I stood up, stretched, saw the note on the coffee table. The wedding ring beside it. At first, I didn't process it. I picked up the ring, turned it over in my fingers. Then I read the note. Read it again. Read it a third time. "Sarah?" Louder now. I ran upstairs. Bedroom empty. Bathroom empty. Closet. Her side was gutted. Dresses gone, shoes gone, drawers empty. My phone was ringing. I grabbed it. Jenna, our project manager. Marcus, thank God, I've been trying to reach you for an hour. What's wrong? The office. Something's wrong. You need to get here. What do you mean wrong? Just come, now. I threw on yesterday's clothes, ran to the car, called Sarah's phone. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. Called again, same message. Called Daniel, same thing. My hands started shaking. I pulled up my banking app while driving, almost crashed twice. Business account, $0. Operating account, $0. Reserve fund, $0. I pulled over, stared at the screen, refreshed, same. No. I called the bank emergency line. This is Marcus Webb. There's been a mistake. My accounts are showing 0, but that's impossible. Let me pull up your account, sir. Keyboard clicking. I'm showing 2 large transfers processed Saturday morning. Both were approved with valid credentials. I didn't approve them. The system shows they were approved by Daniel Hoffman, who's listed as an authorized signer. How much? The total transferred was $3,047,822.16. The world tilted. Where did it go? 2 separate accounts, Apex Digital Solutions and Horizon Strategic Consulting. Who owns those companies? I'm not authorized to release that information, sir. You'll need to. I hung up. Drove to the office, 90 miles an hour through residential streets. Pulled into the parking lot at 8:43 a.m. The building was dark. I unlocked the front door, stepped inside. Empty. Not just empty. Gutted. Desks gone. Computers gone. Filing cabinets empty. I walked through the office in a daze. Conference room empty. Break room empty. Daniel's office empty. My office. Everything was there. My desk, my computer, my chair. But when I turned on the computer, factory reset. No files, no emails, no history. On my desk was a single piece of paper. Handwritten. Daniel's writing. I'm sorry. But not really. You had everything and you took it for granted. Sarah, the business, your life. You stopped seeing her. You stopped seeing anything except your own ambition. So we took what should have been ours all along. Don't bother looking for us. By the time you read this, we're already gone. New names, new lives, new future. Built on the foundation you were too blind to protect. D. P.S. Thanks for being such a trusting partner. It made this so much easier. I read it again. Then I crumpled it, threw it across the room. Screamed. A sound I didn't know I could make. Raw. Animal. Broken. Fell to my knees in my empty office and sobbed. I called the police at 9:17 a.m. Detective Linda Ortiz was assigned to my case. She came to my house that afternoon. Mid-50s, sharp eyes, kind but direct. She sat across from me at my kitchen table. The same table where Sarah and I had eaten breakfast 1,000 times. She said, "Tell me everything." I told her. The partnership. The affair I didn't know about. The money. The disappearance. All of it. When she finished, Ortiz was quiet. "Did you give Daniel Hoffman signing authority over the business accounts?" "Yes, but..." "Did you sign documents authorizing him to make transfers without your approval?" Yes, but I didn't know." "Mr. Webb," she interrupted gently, "legally, he didn't steal from you. He accessed accounts he had permission to access." The words hit me like a fist. "So there's nothing you can do." "I didn't say that. If he planned this, if there's evidence of premeditation, we can potentially build a fraud case, but it's complicated." "How do we prove it?" "We find the evidence." Ortiz started digging. Bank records, shell companies, employee interviews. And then she found the security cameras. Wednesday, August 7th, Ortiz called me. "I need you to come to the station." "Did you find them?" "Just come in." I sat across from her in an interrogation room.
She slid a laptop across the table. Your office had security cameras, cloud-based system. Yeah, why? Daniel wiped the local drives, but he forgot about the cloud backup. My stomach dropped. I'm going to show you some footage, Ortiz said carefully. It's going to be difficult, but you need to see it. She clicked play. January 15th, 2018, 11:47 p.m. The conference room. Dark, except for the city lights through the window. Daniel and Sarah enter. She's wearing a dress I recognize. The blue one I bought her for Christmas. They're talking, laughing. Daniel pulls her close. She doesn't resist. They kiss. Not a friendly peck, not an accident. Deep, passionate, hungry. His hands in her hair, her hands on his chest. They kiss for 47 seconds. I counted. Every single second. When they pull apart, Sarah is smiling. Really smiling. The way she used to smile at me. Daniel says something. The audio is muffled, but I can read his lips. I love you. Sarah's face changes, softens. She says it back. I love you too. Ortiz paused the video. There are 43 more clips like this, spanning 18 months. I couldn't breathe. I said, show me. Mr. Webb, I don't think. Show me all of it. She did. February 22nd, 2018, 1:03 a.m. Daniel's office. Sarah sitting on his desk, wearing the necklace I gave her, our anniversary gift. Daniel standing between her legs, kissing her neck, her head thrown back, laughing. March 9th, 2018, 10:52 p.m. Conference room. Laptop open between them. Bank transfer screen visible. Apex Digital Solutions, $8,500. Sarah's pointing at the screen. Is it really that easy? Daniel nods. It's really that easy. He kisses her forehead. She's smiling. April 30th, 2018, 12:34 a.m. My office. My desk. They're having sex. Right there in my chair, on my desk. June 14th, 2019, 2:34 a.m. Conference room. 2 months before they vanished. Daniel slides a passport across the table. Sarah picks it up, reads it. Elena Reyes. Your new name. Your new life. Sarah looks directly at the camera, smiles, and says, he'll never see it coming. Daniel laughs. No, he won't. He's too trusting, too soft, too... He searches for the word. Too Marcus. They both laugh. At me, at my expense, at my trust. Then Sarah says something that destroyed me. I almost feel bad. Why? Because he really loves me. And I'm about to ruin his life. Pause. Does that bother you? Daniel asked. Sarah thinks. Then shakes her head. No, not anymore. He stopped seeing me years ago. Now he gets to see what that feels like. Ortiz stopped the video. I stood up, walked to the corner of the room, bent over and vomited. The forensic accountant's report came 3 weeks later. Total stolen, 3 million. Number of fraudulent transfers, 87. Duration, 18 months. Average transfer, $34,482. Frequency, every 6.3 days. Shell companies created. Apex Digital Solutions, Delaware. Horizon Strategic Consulting, Nevada. Cascade Marketing Group, Wyoming. Summit Analytics LLC, Arizona. Offshore accounts. Cayman Islands National Bank. Bank of Panama, Swiss Credit International, Singapore Development Bank. Sarah's specific contributions. Forged Marcus's signature on 14 documents.
She wasn't just complicit. She was essential. Without her, Daniel couldn't have done it. Without her access, her knowledge, her betrayal, the plan wouldn't have worked. She was the key, and she knew it. I hired 3 law firms, spent $87,000 in legal fees, money I had to borrow on credit cards. Law firm number 1, you don't have a case. You authorized him. You signed the documents. Legally, he had permission. Law firm number 2, even if we prove fraud, they're in countries with no extradition. You'll never collect. Law firm number 3, we can file civil suits, but realistically, 10 years of litigation, $250,000 in fees, maybe you recovered 10% if you're lucky. I filed anyway. Civil lawsuit in Texas court. Daniel Hoffman and Sarah Webb, defendants. They didn't show up. Of course they didn't. I won by default. The judge awarded me $4.2 million in damages. But here's the thing about judgments. They're just paper. Unless you can enforce them, they're worthless. Collections agency found nothing. The money was gone, dissolved into the global financial system, protected by international banking laws. My attorney said, the system is designed to protect wealth, not recover it. Interpol got involved, traced them to Grand Cayman, then Panama City, then Zurich. Then the trail went cold. November 2019, Detective Ortiz called. We think they're using new identities. Can you find them? We're trying, but if they're smart, and they clearly are, they could stay hidden indefinitely. January 2021, 18 months after they vanished. A bank transaction was flagged in Costa Rica. $47,000 wire transfer to Hospital Clínica Bíblica in San Jose. The patient name, Daniela Reyes, female, age 41. Interpol ran facial recognition on hospital security footage. It was Sarah. She'd had plastic surgery. Nose, chin, cheekbones. Different but recognizable. By the time agents arrived, she was gone, discharged 3 days earlier. But they found parking lot footage. A man picking her up. Tall, baseball cap, sunglasses, slight limp. The gait matched. Daniel. They were still together, still running, still free, still living off my life. March 2023, I received an anonymous email. Subject, you need to see this. No message, just a link. I almost deleted it, but something made me click. It led to a dark web forum, the Exodus Project, where people who'd successfully disappeared shared their stories. Someone had created an account for me. Username, Marcus Webb 47. Password already entered. I scrolled through posts, hundreds of them. People who'd faked deaths, embezzled millions, fled countries. Then I saw it. Ghost Partner 19. First post dated August 15th, 2019. Just completed the biggest exit of my life. 12 years of setup, $3 million clean. New life activated. AMA. Comments poured in. User 4427. How'd you do it? Ghost Partner 19. Patience. Make them trust you completely. Once they do, you own them. User 8831. What about emotional attachment? Ghost Partner 19. Weaponize it. The more they love you, the less they question. User 2209. Business partner or family? Ghost Partner 19. Both. Partner and his wife. Double the access, double the take. User 5523. Any regrets? Ghost Partner 19. None. He had to come in. Too trusting. Too soft. Natural selection. The timeline matched. The details matched. The amount matched. Then at the bottom of the thread, a photo. Blurry. Taken from distance. Beach at sunset. A man and woman, his arm around her, both smiling. She's wearing a red sundress, and around her neck, a small silver circle necklace. The one I gave her. The one she swore she'd never take off. She was still wearing it. While spending my money, while living her fantasy, while erasing me from existence. She kept the one thing that connected her to me. Not because she loved me, but as a trophy.